And just a simple number, 70. Anytime Boston College has held a team under 70 points, they have won the game. And for Syracuse, you've got to contain the perimeter. Boston College has 3 guys shooting over 40% from 3. And also, we've got to find J.J. Starling some help just to get him going and get other guys going so they can win the game and play well.
Well, it was a lively dome on Wednesday, but a disappointing outcome. Duke was phenomenal here on Wednesday night. New opportunity today for both these teams. Shot clock down to 5 on the opening possession. It's Elijah Moore over Deion Brown for 3.
He's been struggling a bit lately. That looked really good right there. Shot it with a little bit of confidence. Kind of have some freshman woes as the season goes on. That looked good.
All the Orange fans can sit down after just 1 possession here at the Dome today. Donald Hand Jr., the reigning co-ACC Player of the Week, misses his first shot, but got his rebound, and J.J. Starling picks up the game's first foul. No changes for Adrian Autry in the Orange starting lineup. Starling, Taylor, and Moore in the backcourt with Davis and Lampkin up front. Curious to see if Naheem McLeod can continue the momentum today that he contributed Wednesday off the bench, scoring 10 points, a season high. Chad Venning not starting, but we do expect to see him. 3rd start of the year for Jaden Hastings, the redshirt freshman from Orlando. Donald Hand Jr. on the attack, scores.
Nice drive down the middle, kind of a open shoulder finger roll. He's been playing so well as of late.
He really has. 31 last weekend in the win over Florida State. Anytime you can share an award with Cooper Flagg, you're doing something right. But 2 for 2 from deep, the Orange. It's Elijah Moore who's got all 6.
They called him Chopper. I don't know if you saw it at home. He looked at the bullseye on his elbow. He's 2 for 2. That bodes well for Syracuse. They need someone to help Starling score.
Deion Brown had it ripped away by Moore, but Brown gets it back. Too strong off the iron, and then Lampkin throws away the rebound on the outlet pass.
I will say, for the folks at home, there is a defensive intensity down here right now by both teams. This is kind of a must-win for both to stay in contention for the ACC tournament.
You're right, John, and it's weird to say that considering one's 10 and 12 and the other's 10 and 13, but there absolutely is an early intensity and some pretty good shot making too. Donald Hand's got 4 for BC. See what Elijah Moore can do. He's got all 6 for the Orange.
He's averaging 25 over the last 3, picking up where he left off.
Davis kicks it to Taylor, repost, got a mismatch, and he can't score over McFarland. Here comes BC. Clemson transfer Josh Beadle, brings it back outside. McFarland passes up the screen from Hastings and rims out the triple. Lucas Taylor had 15 4 weeks ago in Chestnut Hill. 79-71 win for the Orange on the 11th of January. And what about this start? Elijah Moore wears number 8. He's got 8 points in less than 3 minutes.
So, way to come out of that slump he's been in lately. He looks really good, getting in the lane after they're running him off the line.
Early aggressiveness from Elijah, and there's Beadle getting the bounce.
Steady vet, he's efficient, takes good shots. One of the top guys in assist turnover ratios in the ACC. He's a steady presence for this Boston College team.
2 teams that combined 6 for 10 in the opening minutes.
This is the matchup we got to exploit.
Lampkin just saw a wide open lane and took it.
They've got to exploit that right now. This redshirt freshman on a grizzled vet, they've got to look at that a little more.
Now 1,003 career points for Lampkin, whose college career has taken him to Fort Worth, Texas, and Boulder, Colorado. And now to snowy Syracuse. Donald Hand Jr. is feeling it.
Looks good for the release of his hands. Syracuse might have to do a little more, be a little more aggressive on that screen, as he's the only guy really scoring for them.
Confident looking stroke. Once again, poor coverage on the pick and roll. Lampkin did not go through the smaller defender.
Hastings' length kind of bothered Lampkin a little bit. Lampkin should have just went straight up on that one.
Donald Jr., a bit of a heat check there. He's now 3 for 5.
Sure they're not upset at that one.
It's halfway down before it popped back out, like one of my shots earlier this morning. Except mine wasn't halfway down. Elijah Moore, oh, in and out again on the dive to the basket. Here's Dion Brown coming up 1-on-4, so he'll slow it up.
Nice challenge by Hastings, affecting that shot.
Another rebound for Lampkin, his second here early. Starling pulls up. Lampkin on the glass and one.
We talked about finishing the possession. Syracuse got the offensive rebound right here. Lampkin right here. And one. He's got to box out.
Fans say hello to today's Visions Federal Credit Union seat upgrade winners. They're going to make their way down where you see Otto, all the way down to section 107, row AA to their new seats. Enjoy the new viewing.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. Well, shout out to the crew here at the Dome that transformed the Loud House from a lacrosse venue for some top nationally ranked lacrosse teams to the home of Syracuse men's basketball less than 24 hours later. Hot start for Elijah Moore and Eddie Lampkin Jr. Meanwhile, coming up, Game 3 of our CW Courtside Saturday triple header. It's red hot Georgia Tech in Charlottesville to take on Virginia. CW Courtside Saturday, Ramblin' Wreckin' Wahoos coming up next after we're done here in Central New York. What a start for Elijah Moore. He's been averaging 2 points per game in his last 12 since he scored 16 against Maryland in the non-conference. He's got a quick 8, and the other 4 from Eddie Lampkin Jr., who has been a load at both ends of the floor on the block.
Yeah, the number 3 rebounder in the ACC. That's what he does. They've had to get Venning in there. They brought the big fella off the bench. This is the matchup that we're all here to see.
That you were here to see as a former ACC big guy yourself. What particularly will you be looking for early in that matchup, John?
Just to see how healthy Venning is. You know, he was injured last game, so we want to see kind of if he's able to move and be effective as he usually is.
Elijah Strong, nothing but net.
He shot it really well. in shoot-around today, so I'm not surprised to see that go in. He is a very capable three-point shooter.
He just had one practice before he returned against the Louisville Cardinals. Missed nearly a month of action before that. Lampkin gets a touch at the top of the key.
Lampkin missed. Lucas Taylor on that cut.
Starling, tough shot, well defended by Beadle.
Credit to BC making Starling take some tough contested shots.
Fred Payne, not Bashville, comes in and knocks down a three immediately.
He fits BC's profile. Grit, hustle, one of the hardest workers, culture guy. He fits the gritty, not pretty slogan that Coach Earl Grant told us he wants his team to do.
And he mentioned gritty, not pretty this morning. Lampkin against Venning. Well defended by the transfer from St. Bonaventure.
Walled up, stayed on his feet. Beautiful defense by Venning against Lampkin.
Payne, way off that time. Rebound by Lampkin. Folks, about 10 minutes before the game, John Henson leaned over to me and said, Chad Venning's a big boy.
He is a big boy, and I've seen a lot of big boys in my day.
I bet.
He's got some size on him.
The matchup you want to see again. This time Lampkin got underneath, but missed the layup. Still loose underneath. Saved. And a collision and a foul is going on Payne.
Smart by Syracuse to see if Venning is healthy. See what he's got down there. I see they're kind of going at him as they bring in Naheem off the bench.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Orange just one of their last 8 after Elijah Moore was hot at the start. Fred Payne picked up the foul. 6-0 run for BC to take the lead for the first time. Eagles had a lead of 8 with just over 8 minutes to play before the Orange closed with a flurry on January 11th at Connie Forum. Shot clock down to 4. J.J. Starling unable to beat the buzzer with a make, and the rebound to Donald Hand Jr.
Starling might have to start shooting the ball when they go under, just to make Boston College stay honest offensively. It's tough to score when they go that far under a screen.
And they're going to keep going under unless he proves he can make it.
Yeah, you got to just shoot that to let them know that you will shoot that, and then put a little more pressure on the defense.
Loose ball foul just picked up by Starling, and that is his first. I think I improperly gave him one earlier. Earlier foul was on Taylor, so 1 for Starling, 1 for Taylor. Lampkin to the bench, and over Naheem McLeod. Chad Venning with a soft touch.
Looks at the Syracuse bench and shakes his head like, listen, that's in my bag. Good move by him coming off the injury in his first game back.
And it was a foot injury. It was a game-time decision for the Louisville game on Wednesday. Ended up not going. Kyle Cuff had a couple big threes in Connie 4 weeks ago. And all of a sudden, the basket is closed for the Orange. A couple good looks there, both in and out. BC on an 8-0 run. The Orange have missed their last 7 shots. Chaz Kelly hit the miraculous game-winning 3 last Saturday against Florida State. Not a great possession. Thought it hit McLeod's hands off the board. Thought that could have been a goaltend.
That looked like a good block to me, man. That's big fella went and got it at the top.
Well, it's going to go as a block, and the Orange will head to the timeout, trying to refine their rhythm. 16-12, BC, 8 and change gone.
We're going to go out to the court now for our Huffman hot dog race. Our contestants today, the mustard is John, the ketchup is Jeff, and the hot dog is Danny. They're going to go down and back on the court while dribbling a basketball. They've got to do a down and back to have 4 opposite baseline. The The first one to complete the circuit and make a basket is going to go with a nice prize package courtesy of Hoffman Sausage Company. All right, guys, on your mark, get set, and go. Got to go down to half court, back to the baseline. Down to the opposite baseline. And Jeff is our winner. Congratulations, Jeff. You've just won a Hoffman prize pack. Hoffman Sausage Company is a proud partner of Syracuse Athletics, hometown favorite hot dogs and sausages, and makers of the Dome Dog. Hoffman, bringing the meat since 1879. Lineup changes for both teams. For Boston College, number 1, Dion Brown. For Syracuse, number 6, Petar Mastorovich.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Before the game, J.J. Starling and Eddie Lampkin Jr. both honored for scoring their 1,000th career point. J.J. did it last Saturday at Cal, and then Eddie crossed that plateau Wednesday night against Duke. Hot start for the Orange offense, and they have cooled quickly. They did not score in between the 16-minute timeout and the 12-minute timeout, John. Their official scoring drought is 3 minutes and 29 seconds. They're 1 for their last 11. What are you seeing?
You know, I think it's Boston College's defense. However,
inbound pass to a guy who had a foot out of bounds. It was Chris Bell who had his sneaker in the wrong spot, and that's the Orange turning it over right out of the gate after the timeout.
This usually bodes well, this lineup. Syracuse's bench has outscored its opponents in 17 out of the last 18 games, so hopefully they can get a spark for this team that's been on a little bit of a drought.
To your point, Orange bench outscored BC 16-6 in an 8-point win 4 weeks ago.
A lot of in and out shots today for both teams. That looked like that was down as well.
Carlos, Mastorovich both into the game. The Serbian goes too strong with a little finger roll. Chaz Kelly running the offense for the Eagles, taking it right at Jaquan Carlos. Chad Venning has had his way since coming in off the bench. This is Elijah Strong, too strong. Rebound tip controlled by Cuff. Here comes Cuse. Finds the open Bell. Defenders close in. Bell off balance. Rebounded by Strong.
This is another solid defensive possession, running the shooter off the line, making him take a tough contested two.
Kelly finds Venning, rejected by McLeod. Cuff to Bell, couldn't make the clean catch.
Got it to him a little late. He should have passed that earlier.
Orange bring it back out and reset. Carlos 10th in the ACC in assists, averaging over 3.5 a game. He'll rise and fire off the bracket. They're going to get Mastorovich. A little bump on Strong from behind. The foul is on the Serb. Well, tomorrow on CW Women's Hoops, it's a couple of ranked teams that'll be colliding. 14th ranked NC State and number 22 Florida State at the Tucker Center in Tallahassee. The top 25 showdown you don't want to miss tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, only on the CW. NC State coming off a dramatic victory in their Play for K game on Monday night over Duke at a sold-out Reynolds Coliseum. Nia Latson, one of the special players in all of college basketball on the women's side. Kyle Cuff, the steal and the score, and the Orange get off the schneid, snapping a 5+ minute scoring drought.
Tion Brown kind of went back door hesitantly, and that led to the steal. He's got to either come to the ball or just keep moving.
Hastings back in, giving Venning a breather. Brown feeds strong, and he traveled.
Cuff right here with the steal, anticipating the pass. That's one way to get the ball in the hoop, is a layup on this little drought they've been on.
That's the mark of a fighter moment, brought to you by Modelo. Into the second quarter of this game, close, competitive like we expected coming in. Certainly the battle they had in Chestnut Hill felt closer than a 79-71 final score. Here's McLeod. There's a revelation here on Wednesday night. Corner three goes for Chris Bell.
Kind of gives himself a fist pump. He's been shooting it better off the bench. He had 18 points and 4 threes against Louisville.
Donald Hand Jr. pivots, kicks. McFarland sees a little alley over McLeod. Tip goes and falls in. Jaden Hastings' first bucket of the day.
Nice contest by McLeod. Someone's got to come help him when he goes for the block. That left Hastings open for the easy finish on the offensive board.
Bell from the other corner. McLeod tips it up and in. Are you kidding? Naheem McLeod is now 8 for 8 from the field for the season.
Hastings has got to figure it out. He's got to do his work early. They're starting to kind of key in on him down there.
Syracuse did not have any lead changes in any of their last 3 games. We got a bunch here early. Back and forth we go. Orange just changed the lead for the 4th time. Carlos from the wing, and the rebound pops to Brown. Quickly ahead for Hand. Step back 3. Long rebound finds Beadle. Hand slithers to the basket and draws contact on Cuff. We'll take a timeout. 7:41 to play, first half in a 1-point game.
Now please welcome to the court your Syracuse University dance team. How about a nice hand for your Syracuse University dance team? Time for today's lucky restaurant seat from Purple Banana. Ottawa's in section 106 looking for our craziest fan. Ottawa's got a gift card to Purple Banana. All right, congratulations. You just won a gift card to Purple Banana. Visit their website, Purple Banana.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by DirecTV. Stream DirecTV without a satellite dish. And by Freshpet. It's not dog food, it's food food. Entertaining back and forth basketball here at snowy Syracuse. Orange in front by 1. And coming up next on our CW Courtside Saturday triple header coverage, we'll take you to Charlottesville, John Paul Jones Arena, Georgia Tech, and the University of Virginia. And then tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, top 25 showdown, number 14 NC State, number 22 Florida State. Our outstanding weekend of basketball continues only on the CW.
We talked about that magic number of 70 for Boston College. They are, right now, I don't want to jinx them, they are on pace to keep Syracuse under 70 points. So this is going to bode well for them if they can keep defending at this level.
BC feels they have pretty automatic points when Donald Hand Jr. goes to the line. 91% on the year. He's 45 for his last 47. And I apologize to BC fans in Chestnut Hill and beyond. I did not realize I had such powers. I still don't believe in the commentator curse, but that one is hard to deny.
Well, numbers say he probably shouldn't miss for the rest of the game. So, Evan, I think you're good.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be let back into Massachusetts. 19 all. Bell feeds Nesterovic. Nice pass to Lampkin.
Nice big pass to Nesterovic. Attracted a second defender and dropped it off for Lampkin for an easy finish.
Venning remains on the bench. Hastings out there for BC. Hand gives it to McFarland, 8 to shoot. Hand with 4. Someone's going to have to fire. McFarland through the contact, gets the friendly bounce.
Tough finish with the body. Good patience by Boston College not to rush anything and get a shot in the lane.
First points for Roger McFarland, the transfer from Southeastern Louisiana. Cuff to the corner for Bell. Hand right in his grill. Bell takes it and scores going glass.
We talked about this bench unit coming into the game, outscoring all their opponents bench the last 17 out of 18 games. They're shoring it up right now for a Syracuse team that's kind of struggling to begin.
Bell is a starter all last year, giving them a little firepower off the bench at times. No good for Deion Brown. Nesterovic another rebound. Carlos saw a little lane, finds Lampkin. He's surrounded by BC Maroon, and Kell misfires from the corner. Bad pass. Eagles turn it over for the 3rd time. What do we got? Jump ball. Arrow goes back to BC.
An uncharacteristic mistake by Beadle. He usually does not make those type of turnovers. Looks like he just lost grip on the ball.
There's Red Autry. 30 wins so far at the helm of the Orange. He's 8-5 at home this year. Jim Boeheim came to his defense on local radio here in town yesterday, saying that you got to give him a chance. You got to give him the funding to bring in the top-notch players.
He said there's no secret around Louisville and Duke at the top of the league. They are
spending more money. Venning back in, misses the hook short. J.J. Starling. Loose ball picked up by BC. Beadle almost ran into his teammate, and then he rattles in the 3.
That looked good from the release of his hand. He's shooting 50%, 51.9 to be exact on the season. Nice transition 3 by Beadle, who's made up for his last mistake with the turnover in transition.
You don't want to say 52, you want to say 51-9?
Gotta be specific, man. You know, people at home are watching. Lampkin
gives it up, sets a screen, rolls and dishes. And it'll be Cuse ball with 5 to shoot.
Lampkin's got to be a little more aggressive in that role. You know, Venning's maybe laboring a little bit on the injury, hasn't played. I'd like for him to take that up to the rim.
6 points, 5 rebounds so far for Lampkin. Of course, he had a 23 rebound game earlier this year. It's the most rebounds in a game by any ACC player this season.
Derek Coleman and Dave Ding are 2 names that got those stats. That's a good company to be in, Evan.
Nice take, J.J. Starling with his first 2 of the ball game. He had missed his first 4 before that make. There's our 6th lead change. Cuse had a wire-to-wire win last Saturday, and they were down wire-to-wire the game before and the game after against Stanford and Duke, respectively.
He hit that wall Lampkin made. Ref didn't give him that as he was searching for the contact.
Starling lost the handle and turns it over.
That was a turnover, but I do like the aggression that Starling has, putting pressure on the defense every possession, trying to get downhill. Eventually, those shots will go.
Also in for Syracuse will be number 8, Elijah Moore.
I might have set Elijah Moore a little too long. He cooled off.
Is that on the head coach, one of the assistants?
They might have, forgot about him over there. He hasn't played this well in a long time.
That's fair. Kelly gives it up, hand, rise, and fire for 3.
3-point field goal.
You got to get out there on him, man. The confidence he's playing with is otherworldly right now. That shot looked really good.
10 points already for Donald Hand Jr. in double figures for the 19th time in his 23rd game this year. Elijah Moore. No, he's still hot.
He is still hot.
He's 4 for 5. He's got 11 points to lead the Orange.
Coach Autry did not like that shot. He had to smile on that one on the other end.
If it goes in, you like it. But I understand. It was contested, not really in rhythm. But if it goes in, you shrug your shoulders and smile. It's an offensive foul on BC. And we'll get ourselves a timeout with 3:06 to play. Donald Hand Jr.'s got 10. Elijah Moore's got 11. Good ball game with the Orange up 1. 3:06 to play in the half.
Shootout. Our contestant is Steve, who's going to have 30 seconds to shoot a layup, a free throw, and a 3-pointer to win various prizes. If he can do it within 30 seconds, we're going to send him out to half court for another opportunity to win free gas for 1 year. All right, Steve. Send Steve home. He's won a free interior cleaning courtesy of Delta Sonic. All right, Orange fans, it's now time for the National Grid Go Electric Dance Cam. Everybody up on your feet. Show us some electric dance moves. Thanks to our partners at National Grid.
In the past few weeks, have the Orange fans seen Donnie in a Syracuse jersey for the last time? Hopefully he comes back strong, but this day and age, you just never know. Everybody's a free agent.
Right about that, and you're never going to see a healthy Syracuse lineup, which you hate to see. They have all the pieces on paper to be really good.
Elijah Moore, not this time. Lampkin got a hand on it, but it's tracked down by BC. The rebound for Donald Hand in the corner.
The next step for Elijah Moore, now that he's hitting off shots offensively, is to get his teammates involved. That was a little rush. He probably could have dropped that off to Lampkin.
Strong, working against Davis. Tough turnaround. And Eddie Lampkin Jr.'s got 7 rebounds so far in the game. JJ for 2.
Puts constant pressure on your defense. I love the way he's playing tonight.
JJ started 0 for 4. He's now 2 for 6. 4 points to the Syracuse leading scorer. Venning backing down Lampkin. Lost his rhythm. Shot clock at 7. Kelly through Venning's hands. Here comes Cuse. Jair Davis, coast to coast. He missed it, but right there for the tip back was Lucas Taylor.
Good on Taylor to follow it. That might have been the basketball gods talking. He probably should have gave it up a little earlier.
You don't feel quite as sheepish after the miss if one of your teammates puts it right back in, right?
Right about that.
We still scored, no worries. Just gave him an offensive rebound for his troubles.
Defensive pressure right here is just Syracuse is.
Yeah, they've upped the intensity.
Anything up.
And that's off Payne, or McKelly, excuse me.
The pressure by Elijah Moore, we talked about that earlier. The offense is leading the defense for him. And here, turnover out of the hands. Here, Jair Davis probably should have threw it up a little earlier, but you know what? Lucas Taylor got the rebound and the points, so he's rewarded.
Another mark of the fighter moment brought to you by Modelo. Lampkin throws it down. 8 points, 8 rebounds for the big fella from Houston.
6 offensive rebounds so far for Syracuse right now.
Number 1 in the league. Offensive rebounds per game, tied with the Stanford star Maxime Reynaud. Fred Payne. 9th rebound for Lampkin. He's going to have a double-double by halftime if he scores here. Although he may run out of time to get his 10th rebound. He's on his way is the point.
Venning might be laboring. It might be something to look at for Syracuse to try to get Lampkin the ball, but I like it in Starling's hands as well, either or.
Shot clock is off. Game clock's at 4. To the corner. Kick out pass. Davis from the S logo. Not quite.
Looked good for a second.
Well, the Orange with a bit of a turbulent. Can the Orange break it open, or will the Eagles hang around and keep the back and forth thing going?
Syracuse has to keep applying defensive pressure. And Boston College has got to get in the hand, Junior's hands, and let him play from there.
Orange fans rise to their feet here at the Dome, and Jair Davis will let everybody sit down. Cuse scores on the first possession in both halves.
If they're going to have Brown guarding Jair Davis, they've got to give him the ball every single time.
Largest lead so far for the Orange. Josh Beadle knocks down the 2. Surprised he doesn't look for his offense more. I've always liked his game, even when he was at Clemson.
I mean, he's shooting 50 from the field and from 3. Might be a guy that he needs to look for his offense a little more, especially on this Boston College team.
As you called for, right back to Davis.
Got to get to it every time. There's a mismatch down there right now. Boston College is going to have to figure it out.
4 straight points for Davis to start the second half for the Orange. 87th all-time meeting. Beadle looking for his offense and finds it, so that's 4 for Davis, 4 for Beadle. It's like a game of one-on-one.
They yelled no reject, but same result on that pick and roll coverage. Starling's got to figure that out. They're probably going to come back to that play again.
That's off Moore's hip, out of bounds to BC.
one of the things that Brown does do for this team. He's a hustle player. He makes the small plays for this Boston College defense.
Eagles have not won at the Dome since a really bad BC team knocked off #1 Syracuse February 2014 in overtime. Syracuse has spoiled BC's last 10 trips to Syracuse. Taylor picks up his second foul. John, when you're a player, you care about, I mean, I know when you're a player at Carolina, you care about the Duke history, but like other series histories, do you know what happened before you got there?
For sure. In the Clemson, Clemson hadn't beat us for 50 years,
That's
and we did not want to be the team that lost at Carolina, so that definitely played a factor in our intensity when we did have Clemson come to the Dean Dome.
Another special exception for Carolina, but that streak did come to an end finally. Brad Brownell, momentous occasion. After the hand three, Starling can't return the favor, although he'll retry from the corner and knock it down.
Another offensive rebound leading to a shot. BC's got to finish possession, as we told in our keys to the game.
11 second chance points for Cuse. Another three for Boston College. First points of the day for Deion Brown.
A lot of offense, but Syracuse is creeping up on that magic number of 70 that Boston College wants to keep their teams under.
Eagles 8-0 this season when holding the opponent to 70 or less. Oh, J.J. Starling's heating up. Missed his first 4 shots, but now he's 4 for his last 6. He's got 10 points and double figures for the 15th time this year.
He had 20 points in the second half against BC last game.
Take a look at the mark of a fighter moment, brought to you by Modelo.
Swing right here to the corner. Nice rhythm three for Brown. And on the other end, Starling right back at you. The double team on Jared Davis led to that open three by Starling. They've got to keep going at him. He's making plays for his teammates.
Two teams 8 for 9, make it 9 for 10 from the floor to start the second half.
As we saw BC come back, score 15 points in a couple minutes against Florida State, they can put the ball in the basket as well.
Deion Brown, big-time scorer last year at UMBC. If he heats up, look out. 5 for Deion to start the second half. Up and under, and a foul. Free throws coming up for Lucas Taylor. Looking for a cable news network which respects all Americans? Then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is America's most trusted cable news network. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com.
Syracuse has got to start putting a little more defensive pressure on the guards for BC. Brown and Buda have seen the ball go in a few times. Along with Hand Jr., that's not a recipe for success.
Adrian Autry perhaps wondering why his team's not getting to the free throw line a little bit more. They didn't have a free throw until the final minute against Duke and haven't made a free throw today. They're now 0 for 3 in that department.
That's just attacking the rim and putting pressure on the defense, getting downhill. Syracuse has to do a little bit more of that to put a little pressure on the referees to make a call.
Deion Brown gets downhill. Oh, and he missed it again from point-blank range. It was too easy.
He was rushed a little bit down there with the trees.
JJ for 2. He's got a quick first step.
That offensive rebound for his shot has kind of opened him up offensively, and he's starting to see the ball go in. Boston College better be careful.
Painful 4-point swing for Earl Grant. Rejection there. Oh, thrown back down by Jaden Hastings.
Announcing his presence in the second half. Caught Lampkin slipping a little bit down there. Nice punch with the right.
Great initial block by Starling. And Jaden Hastings there to clean up the trash. Tough shot from Moore. Lampkin now gets into it a little bit. with Hastings. Lampkin will go for the double-double at the line.
Fast break right here. Kind of hesitates, nice underhand scoop so the shot blocker can't block it. And right here, Hastings caught Lampkin slipping, boom, right on his head.
Contestant today is Cliff, who's going to have 2 chances to make a basket. And if he can make 1 shot, it's worth a $500 gift certificate to Duncan Bright Furniture. All right, Cliff, give us your first shot. Going to need a little boost from the crowd here, shooting for a $500 gift card.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. Well, today is a special day at the Dome. Obviously, so much history with this program, and they honored the members of the 1974-75 Final Four team, the first Syracuse team to make it to the Final Four, led by Coach Roy Danforth, Jimmy Lee, and Rudy Hackett. Many members of the program were back today to feel the praise of the fans. And there's Roy Danforth, now 89 years old. When you get back with your old college teammates, whether it's 5 years or 50 years down the road, there's really no words that can describe it.
You know, the NIL era has changed how college basketball works, but that's what college basketball is, man. Winning with your guys, becoming a brotherhood, and they're still together, and they all look good, man.
Jim Boeheim was an assistant coach on that team, though Jim not here at the Dome today. Eddie Lampkin, with both these free throws, can give himself his 9th double-double of the season.
If you're Boston College, you're going to have to start stringing together some stops. You cannot keep going back and forth with Syracuse. You will lose that battle.
Trying to like to even out my curses, you know,
right.
Declaring what happens if he makes them both. He did it for Donald Hand Jr. earlier, although Lampkin's just a 56% free throw shooter.
You've always been a fair man. I like that.
I appreciate you recognizing that. 5-point game. Dion Brown, physical drive to the rack.
He's playing with a little bit of pop and physicality
almost
in the
like
second half.
Challenged at halftime.
100%.
Eagles back within 3. It'd be a 1-point game if he didn't miss the 2 layups earlier. 7 though for Brown. The first 5 minutes of the second half.
This is where you want to go. Good pass.
Starling comes up short. Here comes Hand for BC. Jostling for position with Cuff. Hand, fade away, Jay, no. Sneaking in to contest the rebound. What hustle from Brown.
That's what he does, man. He's hustle, skill guy.
Venning over Lampkin. No, sir. Rebound for Eddie is 12.
I felt that in my chest over here. Man, that was a physical move by Venning. Good defense by Lampkin Jr.
Inside Lampkin. Kick out. Starling for 3. 15 for JJ. He's been hot here in the second half.
He's on his way to a similar performance he did last game against BC. He had 20 in the second half, leading them to a victory. Right here, chesting up right here. Textbook defense by Lampkin. Then coming down, taking his time, drawing two, kicking it out to his best shooter. That's a bucket.
First 3 of the game, now a 3 in 7 straight games for JJ Starling, the Baldwinsville native. Lampkin, now he's got the double-double.
It was almost a no-look by Starling. He just trusted that his teammate would be in the right spot and dropped it off right to him for the nice finish. Syracuse is in a rhythm offensively right now.
11 points, 12 boards, and counting. Eddie Lampkin Jr. defending now against Venning. Dion Brown scoops it back up and in with a little twirl.
It was a tough finish, man. A lot tougher than the layup he missed earlier.
Oh, poor defense from Boston College, and Kyle Cuff makes him pay.
Bad communication on Boston College's end. Kyle Cuff with a nice 3.
Syracuse 8 for 11 from the field to start the second half, 73%. Starling thought it was off of Brown's foot, but the official on the baseline, Matt Potter, did not agree. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, and it's presented by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Starling grabbing his wrist a little bit. I don't know if that's going to affect him later in the game.
Elijah Strong earns another trip to the free throw line for BC. And I say another, it'll be just the 3rd and 4th free throw attempts for the Eagles.
Nice easy day for the Stripes so far.
Yeah. Made for a pretty good rhythm, not a ton of whistles. Elijah, 69% free throw shooter on the season. Comes up short there. Coming up next, Georgia Tech and Virginia, the 3rd and final game of our CW Courtside Saturday triple header. And then tomorrow, huge ACC Women's Showdown. 14th ranked Wolfpack, 22nd ranked Seminoles from the Tucker Center in Tallahassee. 2 p.m. tip-off for that huge ACC women's game only on the CW. Strong missed them both. And everybody gets free Chick-fil-A here in Syracuse.
And now the bench unit is starting to trickle in for Syracuse, which is one of their strengths. So Boston College has to do something quickly, or this game could get out of hand.
Carlos to the corner. And Cuff was fouled by Beadle with a bump. We had a nice chat with Earl Grant earlier. Asked him a pretty point-blank question. You know, Donald Hand Jr. coming on strong. He's just a sophomore. Asked him if he's sort of begun talking about, you know, how much money Boston College could give him to stay for next year. He said, oh yeah, we've started those conversations already. Because that's the era we're in now. It's constant.
And he lost 80% of his scoring last year, so, you know, he's got to start negotiating a little earlier and trying to keep guys. He said they may have lowballed McLaughlin last year, so he's learning through the process just as everyone else.
When I asked him the question, John, part of me expected him to say, no, we'll deal with that all after the season. Now we're focusing on basketball, but the reality is it's a new world. Tough fadeaway there. Jair Davis 6 points since halftime.
They've got to keep giving him the ball. He's in a rhythm right now. He's distributing. He's making plays for his teammates. He's scoring. Boston College has to figure it out quickly.
He had a good second half against Duke the other night as well. Beadle, little twirl in the lane. Back inside, Venning against Lampkin. Tough two going glass.
Nice strong move by Venning.
Only the second field goal for Venning. He's got 4 points. Say Lampkin's winning the battle of the bigs right now. The Orange with a careless turnover, and Red Autry cannot believe it.
Nice fade right here from Jair. He was working on that pregame. It looked good then, it looked good now. Nice strong move, physical by Venning.
We're going to go out to the court where a lucky TK99 listener, Lawrence, is going to take a shot at a three-pointer, and if he makes the basket, he's going to win tickets to see Billy Joel and Sting here at the Dome on April 11th. He's out there with Gomez, the talented air personality from TK99. All right, Lawrence. Lawrence, you are still going to go see Billy Joel and Sting at the Dome. Thanks for being a loyal listener to TK99, the flagship station of Syracuse sports. Listen to Classic Rock, TK99 on 99.5 FM. And now please turn your attention to the video board to watch the Syracuse Orange Lippman Mop Team. Lippman, the official hardwood floor care provider of Syracuse basketball. Fans, we now ask that you please turn your attention to the video board as we welcome back our Syracuse men's basketball alumni.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Orange up by 8. Let's take a look at today's key play, brought to you by Hilton Garden Inn. Hilton for the stay.
Good defense by Lampkin Jr. Then getting down, being patient, looking for his offensive teammate. Hits a three in rhythm. That's how you play. He's been playing a long time.
That last shot from J.J. Starling, top of the key, was initially ruled a 2. It's been changed to a 3. So J.J. now with 2 threes in the game. He's 2 for 4 from deep. He's got 14 points.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's just getting started, baby.
I would not disagree with you there. Elijah Strong comes up short. Rebound chased by Brown, and it'll be BC ball.
Brown making some key plays to get his team extra possessions. Right here, just hustling, man, and trying to get his team. Ooh, might have hit off his back though, right?
I thought initially the bounce was out of bounds and then hit his back, but no, I think BC caught a break there. Sometimes hustle catches a break, and sometimes the ball doesn't lie. And it'll still be BC ball though. Carlos smacks it away from Beadle.
BC's got to figure out how to get Hand Jr. the ball, man. That's the only way that they're going to close this gap. He's got to start putting a little more pressure. Seems like he's kind of fading into the offensive scheme right now.
Saying he has to be a little bit more selfish?
Yeah, he's got to go get the ball.
Venning tied up. The Eagles will maintain possession, but only 3.6 in the shot clock. Eagles taking their time.
Elijah Strong propositioning for a clock reset.
Into the corner. Donald Hand Jr. short. Caught the rim though. Shot clock reset. And Elijah Strong will get back to the free throw line for the Eagles. It has not been a great free throw display from the two teams. The Eagles are 1 for 4. The Orange are 1 for 5. See if Elijah Strong can change that here after he missed a couple earlier. There you go. The CW's #1 show is back, and it's all new this Monday. Don't miss All-American Monday at 8/7 Central, right here on the CW.
Stayed quiet on last free throw. Seems like it worked.
2 for 2 there for Strong. 7-point game. Kind of been back and forth between 3 and 9 this entire second half.
BC's got to string together some stops to get this game closer as the clock is slowly ticking away.
Starovich, nice pass to Cuff. Acrobatic move and a late whistle. But I think Bert Smith got it right, even though Strong disagrees.
I think
that's a foul.
Yeah, that's a foul. Seems like the ref may not have wanted to call that, but I think it was too much at the end.
Kyle Cuff, 0 for 8 from the field. Did not score in 12 minutes on Wednesday, but he hit a couple of huge shots in the win over BC back in January.
You were quiet again. I guess it didn't work, Evan.
What's going on here for the Orange at the line?
I don't think I've seen this. I mean, 4 for 12 combined. That's tough.
Cuse now 2 for 7. We head into the fourth quarter of this basketball game. Orange led by 7 at the half. The back and forth first half with a bunch of lead changes. Strong tied up. This time it's Syracuse ball.
Starovich brings energy off the bench. I love what he brings to this team, coming in for his limited minutes to impact this game.
He hasn't scored yet, but he's impacted the game in other ways.
It's been a minute since we've seen a BC rebound and go the other way, so they've got to start getting some stops soon.
Carlos, pull up. Syracuse ball.
Tell you what, Venning is going to feel that tomorrow. Lampkin Jr. is not giving them any breaks down there, going for the boards.
Starovich to trigger the inbound from the baseline. Starling on the bench right now, so Chris Bell looking for his offense.
Go, Fred.
And off Strong, out of bounds to Cuse again.
BC, I was saying before, man, it's been a while since they've just got a rebound and went the other way. It's either ended at points, free throws, or a turnover.
Come on, get it back, get it back. Get it back.
Rebounds just 30 to 27, only +3. It feels like a bigger margin than that.
It really does.
Syracuse looking for some more second chance points. Eddie, unable to throw it in. It's going to stay with Cuse. BC can't believe it. Elijah Strong is not going to send Matt Potter a Christmas card next year. Let's see.
Looks like it's off strong right there.
Lampkin throws it down on the 5th chance of the possession.
Give a team 5 goals at it. They're probably going to score, Evan. Nice for Syracuse to keep at it. BC, as we said in the key to the game, has to finish possessions to win this game.
Largest lead of the day so far for the Orange. Important possession here for BC. And free throws coming for Strong. Lampkin in disbelief. Who, me?
I think that was a foul. Although Strong may have been a little out of control. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, that's a foul. So that is a foul if I've ever seen one.
We got a moment here shooting free throws. Talking a lot about Lampkin and Venning. John, you're a different kind of post. I mean, you didn't necessarily have the same girth that those two had. Not that you're slight. I mean, you had some strength to you, obviously some hops.
Well,
how did you deal with those guys with that more girthsome nature?
I would have been Governor Misterovich. Big Zeller would have had to take on Lampkin or Venning. I wanted no parts when I was in college. Those big guys.
What about in the league?
Well, that's a whole different story. Some guys, I don't care if it's you or me, you got to bring a double team, but you got to do your work early and try to make the shot as tough as possible against big bodies like that.
Of course, you had to deal with Giannis in practice more often than not.
For sure.
What was that like?
It was tough because he practiced like he played in the game, man, which is a good habit to build as a young player.
I know he credits your influence on him and how you helped him improve in practice and taught him how to work in the NBA.
Yeah, I used to guard him every day, man. So when he was younger, I used to get with him a little bit. Needless to say, as you guys see him now, I don't think anybody in the world can guard him at this point.
As a guy who has been dealt on the trade deadline, what was your reaction to all the hoopla this past week?
I think the Luka trade started the landslide. I think it made everybody else not afraid to make some moves. If you're going to trade Luka Doncic, anybody can get traded.
BC gets the steal. Luka Taves into the game for the first time. He didn't play on Wednesday against Louisville either.
He hit the half-court shot today, shooter. Maybe coach is looking for some shooting.
Donald Hand Jr. had way too much space there. And he's got BC back within 6.
That's what you cannot give Hand Jr. He's shooting over 50% the last 3 games. That's a layup for him right there.
Eagles not going away. Venning reaching in for the steal, came up empty. Lampkin going one-on-one. No help's coming. Venning wins that battle.
Man, these guys are battling in there, man. They're both gonna need an ice bath after this.
If you're BC, you gotta try to get it back to Hand here after he just knocked one down, right?
You have to. And Payne missed him again.
Oh, but
float, though.
Fred Payne puts it in. 4-point game as we close in on 7 minutes to play. Timeout, Syracuse.
Good.
We will take it as well. 59-55. Good one coming down the stretch here at the Dome. You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. And next Saturday, the CW becomes the exclusive home to the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Catch all the pure, raw racing that only the NASCAR Xfinity Series brings. New season starts with the biggest race of the year at historic Daytona. NASCAR Xfinity Series racing from Daytona next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, only on the CW.
Your Boston College, I'll say it again. You've got to get the ball in hand juniors' hands. They're running a high pick and roll, have Venning roll, hopefully putting Hand Jr. in the weak side, hopefully to get a three or a shot, but I think he needs to be the primary ball handler for these next 7 minutes.
Oh, Grant looks like he's ready to play, ready to defend, ready to fight. Cuse is led by as many as 10. BC has cut it to 4. Cuff rejected by Taves, and the loose ball picked up by BC's McFarland. Ahead, Payne. And it'll be Eagles ball off Masterovich. We'll get ourselves another timeout. Now 6:41 to play. BC ball down 4, looking for a win at the Dome. Let's take a look at today's game summary presented by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Dion Brown for BC and Jair Davis for Syracuse. Neither scored in the first half, John Henson. Both of them have gotten going here in the second.
You know, Dion Brown has kind of started off slow this season. You know, one of their top 40s out of the portal, but he's playing well the second half. And Jair Davis has just been taking advantage of mismatches, either finding his teammates or looking to score.
Davis scored over 1,300 points in 3 years at Delaware, native of the First State. Now coming up to the ACC for his final season, his 118th game college basketball today.
This is a big possession for Boston College to kind of put a little pressure on Syracuse to see if they can withstand this run
no doubt
that they're on.
Payne feeds the post.
Nice cross screen.
Venning backing down Lampkin. Venning, tough shot. Well done by Lampkin. That's his 15th rebound of the day.
His defense has been the story of the game down there in Venning, not allowing him to get good looks at the rim.
Second highest rebounding game of the season for Lampkin. only surpassed by the 23 boards he had against Pitt. Stepped out of bounds. It's the second time today that's happened to Chris Bell.
An old coach used to tell me the court's been the same size for 100 years. You got to know where you're at.
Wow. Ever since they hung the peach baskets in Springfield.
Exactly. Another possession where Hand Jr. is just in the corner.
Yeah, it's a little surprising.
Very.
Taves to the other side. McFarland airballs a three. And then Hand got a hand on the rebound and knocked away. It'll stay BC ball, says Bert Smith on the baseline. Taves gets it in. Corner three, in and out. And again out of bounds. Again, Boston College basketball.
That's the type of game it's been. Hey, this is the third possession for BC.
Hot potato.
They ought to get a good shot here. This is right here where, it's just a tough break, just a tough bounce. They're both going for the ball. It happens. It's basketball.
And you're right, John. Hand is just chilling in the corner. It doesn't make a lot of sense for BC. Now he gets a touch, gives it up immediately. Venning backing down Lampkin. Tough stand defensively for the Orange.
I just don't know if that's the guy I'd be going at. Lampkin has played really well defensively down the stretch, so this is very interesting to see if you're Boston College.
Venning just 2 for 8 now from the floor. Davis kicks it and reposts with a clock winding down. All ball on the smack by McFarland.
Good hands.
Numbers for the Eagles. Pretty good transition defense from Cuse. Donald Hand Jr. There's what we've been talking for.
Every time he touches it, good things happen, man. This is, but credit to him for staying within himself and shooting good shots when he gets them. That's a sign of a high-level player. I love that he's staying in the game regardless.
1 point game, 4.5 to play.
Venning kind of grimacing a little bit, looks to be in a little pain.
Bell, free throw jumper is good. Big bucket for Syracuse, snaps a drought that had lasted over 4 minutes without a point.
There we go. Getting involved in some action right here. This is kind of what you want.
Only one guy for BC's in double figures. That's Donald Hand Jr. And again, they're going to have a possession without giving him a touch. 19 for Hand. Brown and Beadle each have 9. Well, they weren't involved in that possession either.
Hey! No, hey, go!
J.J. Starling leading the way for Cuse with 14. Starling fouled. And he'll shoot 2 free throws after the final media timeout in regulation. Cuse by 3. Conclusion coming up.
A reminder, fans, with Boston College missing 2 consecutive free throws earlier in the game, you've earned a free Chick-fil-A. At the end of the game, claim your free chicken.
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years.
Toss. Who wants one?
You're watching CW Courtside Saturday, brought to you by Pacific Life, creating financial security for nearly 160 years. Welcome back to Syracuse, with the Orange leading by 3:37 to play. Coming up, when we're done here, we'll take you to John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville for the red-hot Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, led by Damon Stoudemire, against the Virginia Cavaliers. They'll be honoring Tony Bennett today, which is a reminder of all the long-tenured, successful ACC coaches who have either stepped aside or are planning on stepping aside at the end of the season. It is a who's who of coaches for the past quarter century plus.
I mean, those are some names for you right there. All legends, all Hall of Fame guys. Hopefully the ACC continues to breed excellence in the coaching realm.
Jim Boeheim, obviously a ton of success here, leading Syracuse to 5 Final Fours, the national championship with Carmelo Anthony and company back in 2003. There was something about this Syracuse team, John, and frankly, I feel that way now, maybe a little less so with the news that Donnie Freeman has definitely done. But there was something about Syracuse in March. Even if they didn't have a great season, they were always pesky in their conference tournament or in the national tournament.
Yeah, it's a big brand, and that zone defense, one game could mess a lot of teams up, and did mess a lot of teams up.
Absolutely. All righty, 3.5 to play, 5-point game. Beadle with the left hand puts it in.
Nice move, nice pace by Beadle with the left hand with the float. He's a guy you want the ball in his hands as well towards the end of the game. Assist to turnover ratio, top 15 in the ACC.
Jair Davis. He found his spot.
Tough matchup, undersized right there. McFarland, he's got to put up a little more resistance, maybe front, push the catch out.
6'7" versus 6'4". Veteran, and Davis knows how to use that size in bulk. Beadle throws it to the first row.
Hans Jr. was wide open on the easy pass. He tried to make the great pass instead of the easy pass, and that's when you turn the ball over.
Down to 2.5 remaining. 9th double-double of the season today for Eddie Lampkin Jr., matching the number of double-doubles he had last year as a Colorado Buffalo. And J.J. Starling continuing his second-half scoring barrage.
J.J. Starling. Now, he's the guy here at Syracuse, you want the ball in his hands. He's a closer for them, and they seem to be doing that.
14 of his 18 in the second half. He had 20 in the second half against BC last month. Venning burrows in, doubled, he scores anyway. And BC gonna take a timeout with $1:53 left. Venning's third field goal brings the Eagles within 5.
Good patience for the screen right here. Cuts back, pins the defender behind him. Nice float game. That's what he does. Strong move right here. Patience by Venning, but good defense still by Lampkin. That was a tough shot.
And again, Donald Hand Jr., 19 points. Beatles join him in double figures with 11. And Donald Hand, 4 for 9 from 3. Feels like they've gone away from him down the stretch.
Yeah, it's interesting strategy. He does pull the defender, the primary defender, away from the play, so he still is affecting the game in a positive light, because you cannot leave him the way he shoots the three. Syracuse got to get the ball to Jair Davis and let the game kind of work itself out, whether he makes a play for his teammate or takes a good shot.
Orange in the first meeting against BC shot 57% in the second half. They're shooting 62% so far in the second half today. A little full court pressure out of the timeout. Starling gets it across the timeline to Bell. And now the Orange will run some clock. Up 5 with $1:42 to play. Davis kicks it. Bell in and out. Rebound popped around. Still loose. And McFarland rips it away from his teammate.
I think that's the first possession we've seen BC finish, man, in a long time. Just getting the rebound off one shot.
Syracuse fans trying to implore a game-sealing stop. Donald Hand Jr.'s three won't go. Rebound pulled down by Davis. Starling's got to hustle and get this across. He does. And we are under a minute. BC playing this out. They could foul and give one-and-ones and create more time. Orange have not shot the ball well from the line today or during the season. And you give the foul after 25 seconds come off the shot clock there, John. Just some strange late game clock management when you're down by 5.
Yeah, you know, Brown risks going for the steal, which got him behind the play, and Starling, being the offensive player that he is, attacked and drew the foul.
17th foul, so it's 1-and-1 for Starling. Rebound, Syracuse. Lampkin tipped it to Davis.
Still a 2-possession game. You might have to play this out. See if you get a quick score.
For BC, a quick stop.
Yep.
5 to shoot. Starling, can he be the closer? JJ missed it. Rebound, loose. Lampkin. He's got magnets in his hands. His 16th rebound might have just sealed the deal today at the Dome.
We talked about it, finishing the possession. Credit to Syracuse, though, man, battling on the boards. The magic number of 70 is still in play, so, you know, Lampkin's got to knock these down.
1-and-1 here. Even if he misses them for BC, you're down to 20 seconds left. If he misses, if you're BC, can you get the rebound? Well, they can. It's another miss of a front end. Eagles still have some life. Remember what happened last Saturday against Florida State. Hand gets the bounce. Interesting, McFarland hit the net when the ball was still on its way down. Loose in the backcourt, but a foul called on Brown. 3-point game, 9.1 to go, and another 1-and-1 here coming up for Syracuse. Is this a violation that should prevent the basket?
I think that is definitely goaltending. Refs didn't call it. It didn't. It looked like it moved a little more than in live in action it did on slow motion. Maybe that's just the speed of the camera.
I just know you're not allowed to grab the net when you're out there. You know that too.
Yeah, you definitely can't do that. Syracuse got to knock down some free throws to close this game out.
It's been a nightmarish day. They're 4 for 11 at the line. Another missed front end. Eagles have a chance. Down 3 with 5 seconds, and Syracuse gives the foul.
Syracuse foul line number 2, JJ Starling.
They watched the Florida State game. They're not going to play around with fire.
It's going to be 1-and-1 here for Donald Hand Jr. with 5.3 to go. No?
They've got 2 fouls to give, so this could get tricky. Or is that 6?
That was the 16th foul. They still have 1 more to give.
Okay.
Let's take a look now at today's player of the game, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, and motorcycle insurance. Visit progressive.com. He's just been a load from the opening tip to the closing bell.
We talked about it. Whoever is winning the battle between Venning and Lampkin Jr., their team is probably going to win the game. Lampkin Jr. has put his team in position to come away with an ACC win and still keep their hopes alive to get into the tournament this year, and effectively almost putting Boston College in an area where they may not be able to come back from getting to the ACC tournament.
Syracuse has missed 3 straight front ends of 1-1 to keep BC in this game. They're now 4 for 12 at the free throw line, which is just astonishing.
Yeah, you know, they've got one more foul to give. So if I am Syracuse, I'm letting BC get the ball in, run a second or two off, foul right away. If I'm Boston College, I'm running the play to get a shot for Hans Jr. coming off a screen quickly. So we'll see what Coach Grant has drawn up, to get a shot before Syracuse can foul.
BC's made 8 threes in the game. BC has not shot free throws well either. They're just 4 of 8 from the line. 4 threes today for Hand. 1 each for Brown, Beadle, Payne, and Strong. Venning is out there with Hand, Brown, Strong, and Beadle.
It's a tough spot to get a shot in right here, so.
Syracuse defensively as BC gets it to Venning, and just like the Eagles did against North Carolina, they call their final timeout after getting it across midcourt. The issue against the Tar Heels was they couldn't get it in, and they turned it over.
Smart play, because you know that Syracuse is going to try to foul. So you want to get the ball to a spot where you can throw it in and get a quick shot, because if Syracuse does foul, it's going to run too much time off the clock.
Well, you say it's a smart play, John, but I mean, if they don't have a timeout left, so they have no margin for error getting this in, and that has been, you know, what cost them in Chapel Hill. BC trying to get out of the bottom 3. They're going to need at least 2 more wins in their final 9 games, but realistically, they're probably going to need 3 or 4. You know, BC feels that they have the horses to go 4-5 in their last 9 games and get to the ACC tournament. As NC State showed last year, you can catch lightning in a bottle. Magic can happen. You want to be a part of the ACC signature event. The officials are looking at the monitor perhaps to add a couple tenths of a second back onto the clock. If you're BC here, yes, you're expecting a foul, but I think with that in mind, you got to be catch-shoot, right?
Yeah,
Try to get 3 free throws.
Right now it's a catch-and-shoot. Coach Grant did that so Syracuse couldn't just foul them on the catch. And so now you draw up a play and you let the tips fall where they may. If they miss a shot, game over. So this is it.
You surprised Venning is out there when he's 0 for 9 all time from 3?
You know, I think he's going to be a screener, probably the best screener.
That's fair.
On the team.
Well, now Syracuse is taking a timeout. It's a 30.
You think this game doesn't matter to these teams? You're mistaken. This is important to separate themselves, especially Syracuse, from that line of not getting into the ACC tournament.
2 teams that desperately just want to taste victory. BC's lost 7 of 8. Syracuse has dropped 4 of 5. Both these teams won last Saturday, but wins have been few and far between in conference play. Don't forget, when we are done here at the Dome, we will take you to Charlottesville for the Yellow Jackets and the Cavaliers. Also, ACC women's basketball top 25 showdown tomorrow from Tallahassee. All right, 4.5 on the clock. Orange have 1 timeout left. BC has none. Eagles need to get this in.
Can we see another Boston College miracle? I don't believe in magic, but we'll see.
Payne to trigger the inbound. Throws it to Venning. Gives it back to Payne. Good look for the tie. It's good! 67 all. 1.2 to go. Timeout, Syracuse.
I spoke too soon, Evan.
Fred Payne with the gutsy shot to tie it up. That could not have been what Syracuse had wanted defensively. Payne
Right
had
here.
a ton of space.
You've got to be up if you're Lampkin because you got to foul. You have to be up to foul that right there. Lampkin has got to be
a
up.
moving screen on Venning?
Not at all. You've got to be up to foul right there. Just bad defense by Syracuse. Got to be. Can't go under either if you're J.J. Starling. Just, whew. I guess Earl Grant's double timeout worked out for him today.
7-0 run for the Eagles to tie it at 67. Cuse has not scored in the last 2:17. Think about all those missed free throws, John, including 3 missed front ends of 1-and-1s. Staggering stuff. And now 1.2 to go. Cuse has to go the length of the court. Any BC foul would be 2 shots, so you certainly don't want to foul despite Syracuse's struggles at the line.
Got to draw up the old
The Bryce Drew play?
Bryce Drew, Christian Laettner maybe, catch it and turn and shoot. And don't foul if you're BC. You just, whatever you do, don't foul.
What a shot from Fred Payne, the freshman from Louisiana. Asked Earl Grant before the game if he's surprised with Fred shooting 41% from 3. He said not really, because he got hurt last year. He tore ligaments in his knee and he tore his hamstring. And because he couldn't do anything else, he just shot all season long. And that helped refine his form and added to his confidence. And I hadn't heard a coach say that a guy getting injured helped him as a shooter. All right, Jair Davis to inbound. Looking for Starling, Lampkin, or Carlos. He gets it to Carlos from 3/4 court. It's short, and we've got 5 more minutes here in Syracuse.
Sorry, guys, you're going to have to wait. We've got a ball game right here. Boston College with another epic comeback. What a way to end the game for them. Syracuse missing free throws, and once again, Boston College capitalized on the other team's mistakes down the stretch.
What a wild way to finish that second half. Let's take a look again. Syracuse up by 3 with 4 seconds left. Venning right back to Payne. Smooth stroke from the freshman.
Nice shot. Stepped into it. Good lift. But you know what? He didn't have a defender in his face. He got a good look at the basket. A 40% three-point shooter is going to make most of those.
Third overtime game of the season for Boston College. They beat Missouri State back in November. They lost to North Carolina a couple weeks ago.
This is my second overtime game. I had the Clemson-Pitt overtime game.
It's the second overtime game for Syracuse. They hung on against the Penguins of Youngstown State, double OT, 104-95, back in mid-November, a lifetime ago when it comes to a college basketball season. This has been a pretty wild way to get to OT.
Right. Syracuse has to kind of regroup.
I just can't believe that, you know, Syracuse has the timeout that Earl Grant called and then calls another timeout, and then Fred Payne gets that good of a look from 3.
You know, you almost could say you could have had a switchable guard on Venning because they needed 3, but also you have to worry about the rebound, but 2 doesn't kill you. So a lot of interesting decisions down the stretch. That's why I'm over here not coaching, Evan.
Jair Davis to jump center with Chad Venning. Venning was not in the starting lineup, so he did not jump it earlier. Venning wins the tip in the hands of Payne. It's been a long time since the Eagles had a lead in this game, back when it was 27-25. Payne comes up short, Starling the rebound.
Maybe feeding the hot hand, see if he can still has it going by Boston College.
Last time BC won here at the Dome was in overtime against the #1 Syracuse team that entered the day 25-0. And free throws coming here for the Orange. 31 seconds into OT.
Nice rip through right here to go in baseline. The game has been a lot more physical than that foul, but, you know, he got behind and ref made the call.
Davis attempting his first free throws of the day. '87th all-time meeting between BC and Syracuse. It's the third time that they've gone to OT.
Jair Davis told coach, keep feeding me, keep the ball coming. So we'll see if they continue that on the other end.
Donald Hand Jr. puts the Eagles on top.
I mean, you know, hey, maybe that's what he's there for, space the floor and shoot when you get the ball. Great find by Beadle, finding his best player, best shooter on the team.
24 for BC's top star. What do we got? It's a block.
That might have went last couple years, but the new rule. Good attack by Beadle, drawing the defense in. Kyle Cuff loses vision. That's what happens when you lose vision on the shooter.
5th three of the day for Donald Hand Jr., the reigning co-ACC Player of the Week.
Two-time Player of the Week. First father-son duo to be Players of the Week in ACC history. His dad was a pretty good player back in the day as well.
Really, the first in history.
First in history.
Surprise.
I think in 2003 it was.
Our guy Randolph Childress and his son Brandon didn't get that distinction.
Right.
1 for 2. We're tied at 70. Cuse continues to struggle from the line. They've missed 9 of their 16 tries. Strong fakes it and then lost it. 11th BC turnover. Each team had 10 turns in regulation. 13 points, 16 rebounds for Lampkin. Now he sets the screen for Starling. To the elbow for 2. Tough shot.
He's a gifted offensive player, man. That was a tough shot he made look really easy.
Now Beadle pierces the paint and a tough teardrop for Josh Beadle.
He has been getting into the lane, sealing off his fender, hitting that floater all night, especially in the second half.
We're tied for the 5th time. We've had 10 lead changes. Syracuse has led for more than 33 minutes.
BC is in a zone right now, trying to switch it up a little bit.
They haven't been able to put BC away.
They just can't win to man right now. Give Syracuse a different look.
Clock's down to 4. Davis absorbs the contact and will take 2 free throws with 2:33 to play in OT. Are they going to call it on the floor?
Strong has got a...
No. 2 shots.
Right here, Strong is upset on foul, but look. You've got to back up a little bit and give Jair Davis some room.
Beadle restraining Strong, who's been frustrated with the officials all game long.
They've got to get Strong out of there, man.
Donnie Freeman's calling for a tee over there on the Syracuse bench.
They've got to get him down. He's a little emotional right now.
Understandably. Wow. Syracuse entering the day was 17th out of 18 teams in free throw shooting in the league, but they haven't been this bad. They're now 7 for 17 from the free throw line. Davis goes 1 for 2 there, puts the Orange back up 1. Midway through the overtime. Beadle Pivots back to his left. Is Donald Hand Jr. going to get a touch?
I don't think so. There it is.
11 to shoot. Hand tough. Fadeaway. Won't go, and a strong rebound from Davis.
Tough to give him the ball in that situation where he's got to make something happen without any offensive set. But he's a guy that could potentially make something happen if that was the case.
Davis kicks it. Starling missed it, and the rebound finds BC. Payne slows it up.
This is what BC needs right here. Give it to him. Yeah, there you go.
Payne was fouled. Taylor picks it up. That's his third.
Getting a little too close. You got to give him some airspace to land. That's a foul. But another positive play by Hand Jr. getting the ball in this crunch time.
1 for 2 at the line today for Hand. Wow, kind of a hitch.
He's got a weird hitch. I had a weird hitch in my free throws, and I was not very good. So I'm glad that he's showing that the hitch does work.
I mean, he's number 1 in the ACC, but not today.
Right.
91% for the year. 1 for 3 today. Needs this one for the tie. Smooth. 73 all.
BC has got to finish a possession right here. This is what killed him last time down the stretch.
By finish, you mean get a defensive rebound after getting a miss. Oh. Lucas Taylor with some English off the glass.
Nice finish by Lucas Taylor. Haven't heard his name much this game, but that was a nice drive off the screen by Lampkin Jr.
Just a second shot attempt. He's 2 for 2. Beadle inside for Venning. Triple team.
Oh!
He scores anyway. Plus the foul. And BC could retake the lead at the line.
Just a strong move. Good pass by Beadle. Strong finish on 3 guys.
He was fouled by at least 2 of the 3.
He's got some long arms, man. It's the reason he's number 2 in field goal percentage in the ACC.
Foul on Lampkin, his third. Venning free throw puts BC up 1.
We got a close free throw make. We got 1, so let's see what happens.
9 points now for Venning. This would be a devastating, disappointing defeat for Syracuse, who was up 10 in the second half.
It's all
actually up
right
11
here.
at one point. 56-45 with 12-12 left. Starling swatted, but a foul called. Now Syracuse wants goaltending. They're
Good
not
take.
gonna get it.
Good take by Starling right here. Getting to the lane. Got it from behind. I guess you can call that a foul.
Not a goaltend, but a reasonable foul call for sure.
Yep.
Number 2 on Hand. So Lampkin back to the line where he's 1 for 4. These are, I beg your pardon, it'll be Starling at the line. He's 2 for 4.
Interesting, he's such a poor free throw shooter. For being such a good scorer.
30.4 left. Starling for the lead. We remain even. Game and shot clock are about a half second apart. Timeout, Boston College.
BC will get the last shot right here.
We'll be back in 60 seconds. BC and Syracuse tied 76 all, 22.6 to go. Two teams below 500, but battling to the brink here today at the Dome. 76 all with 22.6 to play. And for those of you joining us, looking for Game 3 of our CW Courtside Saturday triple header, we'll get you to Charlottesville as soon as we finish here in Cuse. Tip-off scheduled for 5:37 p.m. Eastern. So stay with us on the CW for Georgia Tech and Virginia. All right, game clock and shot clock are just about in sync. They're about a half second apart. If you're BC, are you thinking one shot, no offensive rebound, no chance for Syracuse? Either we win or we go to double OT?
Yeah, you're thinking one shot. In the NBA, we had a rule. You start to play at around 10 or 9 seconds. So you allow time maybe for a tip in. But for the most part, one shot. They'll probably have Beadle and Venning high pick and roll with Hand Jr. on the opposite side. And that's been working for him. If the guy sags off Hand Jr., he shoots a three. If not, Venning gets a layup or Beadle comes down for the float. So it's been working.
Well, Fred Payne was the hero at the end of regulation, the game tying three with a second left. Payne inbounds to Beadle. Yep. Out there with McFarland, Venning, and Hand.
Empty side pick and roll. That's going to be the game. That's what they've been doing.
Can Boston College pull off another miraculous victory for the second straight Saturday? Josh Beadle getting downhill, but he lost it. Lampkin the steal. Starling for the win at the buzzer. And we've got double overtime. Georgia Tech, Virginia still to come. And Syracuse wins the tip to begin double OT. Inside to Davis. Help came, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by BC.
Got to pick that up right there if you're McFarland. That was a good defensive play.
Orange have 10 to shoot. J.J. Starling leading the way with 21, but unable to win the game at the end of OT. And now Boston College will look to retake the lead here in double OT. 8 ties, 11 lead changes. Josh Beadle, step back three! Eagles back in front.
Coach Grant, he trusts he trusts Beadle. He knows that he's a guy that's going to make a good play, and that was a good shot by him to put him up 3.
16 for Beadle. Tough shot for Taylor. Air ball. Venning tracks down the rebound.
Good job by Hand Jr. getting back in front.
You see the tip-off in Charlottesville on a day that they're honoring Tony Bennett. The Yellow Jackets and the Cavaliers just getting underway. We'll get you there with Tom Wormy and the crew in a bit. There's a tough take. Donald Hand Jr. now with 26 points. And this is the largest lead of the day for Boston College.
Hand Jr. and with another clutch move to the basket, man. Their two stalwarts at the guard position are leading them right now to a potential road win in the ACC, which is tough to come by.
Timeout taken by Syracuse.
Can't go under. I don't know if Syracuse has learned his lesson yet, but that right there is an easy shot for a 51% three-point shooter.
8th time this year BC's made double-digit threes in a ball game. They're 11 for 27, 2 for 3 here in the overtime. Take a look at what's going on at JPJ as Syracuse and BC strategize. Virginia coming off a great performance in Pittsburgh on Monday, John, and off to a heck of a start so far today.
Virginia is still one of those elite programs. Obviously, coaching change late in the early but late into the season. Off-season kind of hurt them a little bit, but I'm sure they'll find a way.
Georgia Tech also had couple nice wins, getting the best of Clemson in double OT, also beat Louisville. So Damon Stoudemire's team is coming on strong. And that's a really intriguing game for a couple of teams that are trying to get back to the 500 mark for the season.
Right about that.
So we're in a timeout with 3:24 left in double overtime. Isaac McNeely is going to hit another. Wow!
Nice.
9-0 Virginia. Sorry to steal Tom Wormy's thunder. McNeely ripping the ropes, as Tom might say.
Interesting kind of stat. Beadle has 14 of his 19 three-pointers have come with 10 seconds or less on the shot or game clock, shooting 57% from three in ACC play. So maybe he's the guy you want the ball in his hands when the game's down the stretch.
So another sizzling start for Virginia. They got a 9-0 lead. We'll keep you posted. Syracuse 2 for 7 in the 2 overtimes combined so far, John. And for the game, they're just 9 for 20 from the free throw line. 5 straight points for BC to begin double overtime. Can Syracuse counter right here?
Oh,
my goodness. I'll say with confidence, that's not what Red Autry drew up in the huddle.
Lampkin looks like he's telling Davis I was supposed to set a pick, not get the ball. So that's just miscommunication on the board in the timeout, which could be detrimental down 5 with 3 minutes left in double OT.
Venning driving on Lampkin. He scores over him.
That was a tough move. Nice little crossover to the chest up.
7 straight for the Eagles here in double OT.
If you're BC, you don't want threes. Make them score 2s, and you should go home with the victory.
Starling lost his dribble. There's just a discombobulated feeling right now for the Syracuse offense. Clock winding down. Bell forced to fire. And 4 Eagles there for the defensive board. Payne pulls it in. That rebound evens up the rebounding battle. Each team has exactly 40 rebounds in the game. So BC holding its own despite giving up 16 offensive boards that have led to 13 second chance points for the Orange. Donald Hand Jr. doesn't get the bounce. Lampkin grabs its 17th rebound. Here comes Cuse. Carlos, a blur to the basket. Absorbing the contact and scoring through Hand. First points for Jaquan Carlos in the game.
Good verticality by Hand Jr.
And then pressure and stolen away and then stolen back, and it's still loose, and it's a rugby scrum, and BC's got possession, and a foul's called on Starling. Chaos. Syracuse.
I didn't know what to look at. There was so much going on right there. Syracuse trying to be aggressive. Good defense by Carlos right here too. Just getting his hands on the ball.
John, did you watch any of the Rugby 7 scrums in Paris this past summer?
I did not. You know, actually that should have been a 10-second because Syracuse never had possession of the ball right there. So, interesting.
Payne at the line. He missed the front end of a 1-and-1. And then a foul by the shooter. Payne bumps Bell going for the rebound, and that's a gift 2 shots for Chris Bell.
Just a mistake by Payne right here. You want that clock to run when they're trying to score.
First mistake is missing the front end of the 1-and-1, and then to compound it by giving the foul when Syracuse's offense is really struggling.
Seemed a little rushed on that free throw. Shooting at 41%. Probably was a little jittery on that.
Bell's first free throw attempt of the game is pure. It's almost like neither of these teams knows how to win a late game, tight, crunch time situation.
Right about that. Coach Grant talked about crunch time situations with guys that are all coming together to be a new team. These are the type of moments that having an older team that's been together helps.
Who has that in college basketball in 2025?
Nobody at this point.
Even if you got older guys, they haven't been together for a long time. 2 free throws for Bell. It's a 3-point game.
BC, run the clock down and get a good shot. That's all you can do right here. The clock is your worst enemy.
Team coming on Beadle. He's into the backcourt, and he's called for the violation. I think it's the right call. Jeff Clark was all over it.
I don't know. I think Syracuse hit that ball. I think it should have been fair game right here.
I don't know. Well, let's see.
Right there, yeah. I think Syracuse.
You know what? You're right. They did deflect it out of his hand.
Maybe because he tried to pick up possession in his half court and
I mean, but right there was poked by Carlos for sure.
Interesting.
Interesting is what you often say when you think they got it wrong, Joe. I've sussed that out about you.
I tell you what, both these coaches are gonna have some good late game film to go over on the way home.
Starling was hammered. Second foul on Venning.
Good job by Starling searching out that contact right here. Searching his contact right here, putting the pressure on the ref to make a call. Smart play by him.
For one of these teams, the film watch is going to be excruciating.
Right.
And the outcome very much still hangs in the balance. Keep stand by, Georgia Tech and Virginia fans. We'll get you to JPJ as soon as we can. Georgia Tech bounced back after falling behind 9-zip, now 9-8. Another fascinating Saturday of ACC basketball. All around the league. Triple header day here on the CW. Starling brings the Orange back within one. Little offense-defense substitution. Masterovich in. Lampkin is out. Full court pressure here coming from Cuse.
BC's got to handle this pressure. They've struggled this second overtime.
Hand can run the baseline. Didn't. Doubled in the backcourt. Beadle gets it back to Hand. Under a minute to go in the second overtime. Hand gives it up. McFarland wasn't expecting the pass, though. He was fortunate to maintain possession. Now Hand to Payne. Missed it short. Masterovich couldn't control the rebound. It finds Payne. He can't score. And it's a jump ball. It goes to BC via the possession arrow after Cuse won the tip to start the second overtime.
Payne could have taken out that rebound and ran some clock. I know you got a layup, but the clock is your enemy right now if you're BC.
Now BC's going to take, once again, its final timeout. Let's just run through the madness. BC, 7-0 run to close regulation, including that three from Payne with 1.2 left. Carlos three-quarter court heave, could not connect. And then at the end of the first overtime, it was tied. Beadle turned it over. Starling got a decent look that he's made in this gym many, many times, but not today. And that led us to double overtime where BC jumped in front by 7. And now over the last 70 seconds, John Henson, Syracuse on a 6-0 run as we take another glimpse at what's transpiring in Charlottesville. Day-Day Ames coming off his best game of the year for the Cavaliers.
Got to get a stop if you're Syracuse. Finish the play. Coach Autry is telling his team to switch. Everything seems, looks like it's interchangeable.
All right, 40.5 to go. BC was fouled.
It's actually not a bad foul. 40% shooter. Starovich has got to get out there earlier and be in position. That is a foul.
Payne has had some clutch shots today. Smooth stroke there. BC by 2, 38.9 to go. Neither team has a timeout left, John.
Yep, this is going to come down right here to making free throws and finishing off a defensive possession if they get the rebound.
Payne sinks them both. Brown's coming back in. And he's replacing Beadle.
If you're BC, no threes. Twos do not lose the game. No threes.
Starling goes right at Venning and scores off the window. And, well, apparently I was mistaken. Apparently Syracuse does have a timeout left. Yes, they do.
These coaches are, they're
my
using
mistake.
them all. Getting downhill, Venning sitting back in a drop. That's bad news when they got a guy like Starling coming downhill.
Well, I know the folks are hoping that this game can end so they can get to their dinner plans or to Georgia Tech, Virginia. BC has never played a triple overtime game in its history. Syracuse last went to triple overtime on a night that everybody remembers at Madison Square Garden, when the Orange and the UConn Huskies went 6 overtimes in that classic 127-117 Orange victory in the Big East tournament. That was in 2009, 16 years ago. I remember where I was watching that game.
I remember that game too. That was a legendary game. The MSG right there, the old school Big East battle.
Well, after falling behind 9-0, the Yellow Jackets have gotten back on track. Damon Stoudemire's team, you can never count them out. And they'll go to their under 12 timeout with the Jackets narrowly in front. Here it's Boston College by 1 with 30.7 to go.
It's interesting. Brown is in the game, not Beadle. Beadle's been their primary ball handler against this pressure. I wonder what the thinking is that. Maybe free throws, but
tough double team and a great pass from McFarland to get it across. And then hand fouled by Bell. It'll be 2 free throws for BC with 24.3 left in double OT.
Good patience by McFarland to look through the double team, a little size, and get it to the best free throw shooter in the ACC.
That's a really nice pass by McFarland, surrounded by defenders and the entire Syracuse bench over there. My goodness gracious. Donald Hand Jr. entered the day 45 of his last 47 at the line. He's 2 for 5.
I think that was my fault, Evan.
Here today. It's not your fault, John Henson. It's not your fault. As I quote Robin Williams.
Oh, he missed both.
He missed them both. Unbelievable. Truly. Syracuse can retake the lead here with 15 seconds in double OT. J.J. Starling was fouled by Venning. 11.1 remaining.
Right here, this is what you want. Match up your best offensive player. Venning's got to foul that if he's at a disadvantage. You don't want to give him 2. Make him make 2, which he hasn't done on a consistent basis today.
Third foul on Venning. JJ 5 of 8 at the line with his team down 1. We are tied for the 9th time. JJ Starling looks to give us our 12th lead change of the day. Before the free throw substitution, Davis back in, Bell to the bench. Eagles out of timeouts. What a wild day it has been.
We had 7 minutes left at 5 o'clock. So.
There were 3 minutes left of the game at 5 o'clock. He missed it. We're still tied. Are we going to triple OT, or can BC come up with a clutch game winner?
He's got to go.
Donald Hand Jr. stolen away. Kyle Cuff for the win from midcourt. Triple overtime beckons. Do you have an inclination of who's going to win this game, or do you have no clue?
Well, I judge it since Syracuse got off to a good start last time. BC, second. Let's go Syracuse for the good start this time. I'm going to go back to the well.
Bell feeds Davis inside. And he gets the bounce. Jair Davis into double figures. And the Orange up by 2.
Good start. They have no answer for him this second half. Syracuse is going back to the well.
And had it poked away, and a reach-in foul's going on Carlos. 2 free throws coming up for Donald Hand Jr., which may or may not be good news for BC.
Yeah.
Again, if you just joined us, Donald Hand Jr., the #1 free throw shooter in the league for the season. 101 for 111 coming into the day. And he's gone 2 for 6 here at the Dome. Now, it's tricky shooting at the Dome, but that's still stunning.
Oh, goodness.
And he can't believe it. And he's in his own head right now.
Basketball is a funny sport, Evan. Sometimes you have games like this where you just...
I mean, he's literally missed more free throws today than the last 2 months combined.
Maybe 2 years.
To make it a 1-point game. Wow. He touched every part of the rim and got it to go. Orange by 1 with the ball as we bring you the 2-box. Jackets by 3 at JPJ in Charlottesville. In front of us here in Syracuse, Jair Davis, ridiculous fadeaway Jay.
You gotta keep feeding the beast right there. They have no answer for him. We'll see if Boston College has an answer. Carlos with great ball pressure right here.
Making life tough for Beadle. It's deflected. It hit the official, it went out of bounds, and it's BC ball.
Carlos is laughing a little bit because he knows he hit it off right here. It's a tough move right here. Fade to the baseline, but when you're feeling it like he is, the basket looks wide.
Suddenly, Jair Davis with 16 points. The season high is 22 back in the season opener. Payne gets downhill, too strong though. Loose ball finds Hand, he lost it. And it's Syracuse ball. Syracuse has 4 of the first 5 points to begin the 3rd overtime.
Good job of McFarland for pushing him out, making it a little tougher for him.
Davis calling for it, posting up at the 3-point line. Paces up, going right at McFarland. Shoots over him and missed it. And BC secures the rebound. 7 boards for Hand to go with 28 points to lead BC. Donald Hand Jr. long 2 won't go. Carlos pulls down the rebound. Most of the fans here at the Dome on their feet. It has been a wild 52 and a half minutes, and Syracuse extends the lead courtesy of J.J. Starling.
Strong move to the inside hand. That's a tough move to handle. BC has no answer defensively right now. They've got to do something quickly on the offensive side.
J.J. has now got 28, matching hands output, and BC turns it over.
Nice hezzy right here. Frees the defender. Just a tough pass. Good job by Carlos making the pass more difficult for Venning.
16 turnovers now for BC, just 12 for Syracuse.
Gotta get it to Jared Davis right here if you can, or Starling. Pick your poison at this point.
9 to shoot. Starling had it poked away into the backcourt. He can get it. 4 on the shot clock. Starling to the basket. Lampkin tips the rebound to himself, and then McFarland smacks it away, and BC comes away with it.
Good hands by McFarland. It's the second time he's done that tonight.
Earl Grant directing traffic in front of the BC bench. McFarland back rooms the 3, and Bell's got the rebound. Syracuse can slow it down with a 5-point lead and 1:20 left.
We talked about mental toughness. Boston College is settling right now. And Syracuse is not. They're getting to the rim. They're attacking.
The foul's on Venning, I think. Oh, they gave it to Payne. It's his 3rd personal. It was away from the ball. And
he's looking like
2 shots for Carlos. No, they're going to send Lampkin to the line. Yeah, because Lampkin's the one that was fouled.
Maybe that was a kind of hack-a-shack situation. Get him on the line since they're down 5 with a minute left.
Eddie at the line is 1 for 4. Don't know if it was intentional, but does, you're right, seemed like a smart foul despite Lampkin stepping up and confidently draining it. The action continues in Charlottesville. Really looking forward to that game and seeing who can get the win and keep their momentum going. Tom Wormy and the G-Man are probably a little annoyed that the action at Tom's alma mater has taken this long.
Yep.
And they're going to review who this went out of bounds off of.
McFarland doesn't look too sure that it was off Syracuse. Might be a case where he hits the ball and it comes off his hands last.
Previous players under review for out of bounds.
Let's take another look. After the 13th missed free throw of the day for Syracuse.
That looks like it is off of McFarland.
A reminder of the importance of this game, certainly for Boston College, also for Syracuse, trying to widen the gap between that line of demarcation. Top 15 get to play at the ACC tournament, the little dance. You never know what can happen after what we saw last year. Michael O'Connell's shot against Virginia, and just a miraculous run, 5 wins in 5 days for Kevin Keats' team. Meanwhile, Isaac McNeely leading the way for the Wahoos with 10 so far today. Duncan Powell has 10 points for Georgia Tech. 25 all from JPJ. Georgia Tech got back into the game with a 3-ball. They're 4 of 6 beyond the arc. McNeely hit the couple early threes, but hasn't been able to cash in since. I feel like Kevin Harlan the final week of the NFL season, John, when he's doing play-by-play of 2 games
After
at
review,
once.
your call on the floor stands. It is Boston College basketball.
They're gonna keep it with BC. Call stands. One more look for you.
Woo! It's tough. Maybe it wasn't inconclusive enough.
In the NBA, you would hear the term proximate foul.
Right.
That's not a term in college basketball, but these officials watch NBA games too, just like we do.
Definitely do.
All right. If you're BC, do you want to attack the three here, or do you just need points?
Need points. You got to score fast. If you're Syracuse, no threes. Still interesting Beatles on the bench, man.
Under a minute in the third overtime. Payne, the reason why we're here, because he hit the three to tie at the end of regulation. Too strong on the drive. And now Syracuse, with 50.4 to go, is made free throws away from surviving and closing out this hard-fought ACC win. But nothing settled yet, obviously, because the free throws today have been far from a certainty. Virginia just drained its fourth three moments ago. It was McNeely hitting his third of the game. Meanwhile, the Syracuse free throw struggles continue to plague the Orange.
I've seen a lot of basketball in my day. I don't know if I've seen this many free throws missed in a game in a long time.
They missed 14. They've made 16 now. It's a three-possession game with under a minute. McFarland gives it to Payne. He'll take it. Rebound Starling. To Bell in the backcourt. BC needs to foul, otherwise it's over, and it might be over anyway. My goodness. Remember when Syracuse was down 7 in double overtime?
This is a game of runs and crucial mistakes.
It was 83-76 in the midway point of the second OT. Obviously, since then, it has been pretty much all Orange. Back and forth first half in Charlottesville. With Virginia currently up 1, 2 for 2 at the line there for Bell. It's a 19-3 run for Syracuse, spanning the overtimes. They've outscored BC 10-1 in the third OT, and that is going to be enough. You said it, John. The first to get to 10 in an overtime period would do it. And the Syracuse Orange, despite having to work an extra 15 minutes, are going to taste victory at the Dome once again. Final score in triple OT, 95-86. The Orange prevail.